Morning, everybody. It's Jeffrey Zimbelman here. Just finished reading The Wizard of EarthSea by Ursula Le Guin. This novel was written back in the early 1960s. It's part of a trilogy. It's book one of the trilogy, The Wizard of EarthSea. And the book starts out by following the events of a young boy. He lives with his father. His father's a blacksmith. His mother has been dead for a while now. I guess she died while giving birth to him. And he's grown up in this small town on an archipelago, and there's really not much going on. Until one day he overhears his aunt, I believe it's his aunt, his mother's sister, his aunt, casting a spell. Turns out she works as a witch for the local town. She does, kind of snowy today. She does some spells, makes some potions, and that's really how she makes her living, is she's a witch for hire. Well, anyway, this young boy, it turns out his name turns out to be Ged. You'll find out that he has actually several names, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But he finds out that his aunt's a witch, so he casts his own spell over flocked goats, and it's a quite powerful spell. And his aunt recognizes the fact that, this young man has some inclinations to be possibly a wizard, or at least, can handle some magic. So she teaches him everything that she knows in a matter of just a couple of years, which isn't much. Again, she's just a local witch. Apparently in this world, there are different levels of working with magic. Wizards, high wizards know the most about magic, and just local witches, they don't know as much. They know very little. Well, one of the things we've learned is that names play a critical role in this world. For example, when you're calling a hawk down to sit on your arm, you cast a spell on the hawk and you say its name, its true name, and then the hawk will come down and obey your command and sit on your arm, like so. It'll sit up there. And gives the whole idea of magic in this world is based upon knowing the true name of its item. So if you're a human being walking around on this archipelago, one of the many islands, you don't want to give out your true name. You have your nickname that you go by so that nobody can figure that out and possibly have control over you. So it's pretty basic. Well, anyway, one day when this kid is like 9, 10 years old, I'm not too sure, I don't remember, bunch of warriors trying to invade his village. Well, he casts a spell of, I guess, they have fog come into the town and make it invisible. So the invaders are actually walking through the town, but they don't see the town. And then there's this really thick fog. And when the people go up, the townsfolk go up to kill the warriors that are invading, the warriors see these people as kind of like ghosts. So they think they're being haunted by ghosts. It's kind of a cool scene. But this boy, he actually uses so much ability that he puts him into a slight coma, and he can't wake out of it. So the witch doesn't know what to do. She tries to help out. Her base knowledge isn't great enough for her to really be of any assistance. Turns out one of the local wizards, his name is Ogion, he comes from down high off the mountain and helps the young boy out, gets him out of this paralyzed trance, if you will. He's kind of laying there, kind of shaking a little bit. He's awake, but definitely can't control himself. So the boy wakes up, and Ogion tells the father, look, your kid's pretty special. He's got a lot of magical ability. He has to come train with me to control his ability. So his father eventually lets him go. There's a little bit of discussion about why or if he should go, the young boy should go, but he ends up going with Ogion. Well, Ogion and this young boy don't get it on very well, so the young boy decides he's going to go to wizard school. As it turns out, there's actually a wizard school on one of the other islands. So he travels to this wizard school, spends some time with them, and is growing in power and reputation. And one day, one of the other students decides to have like a wizard's contest with him. Does this sound familiar from Harry Potter a little bit? You think she took something from Ursula Le Guin? But anyway, so in the midst or in the middle of this contest, Ged, the young boy, he's not a young boy anymore, he's 17, 18 years old. He accidentally unleashes something, kind of like a shadow beast, and it's unleashed into the world. And the masters at this wizard school are kind of ticked off at Ged, and they tell him, you can't leave because this creature, as soon as you leave, it's actually going to come and try and find you and kill you. And that scares Ged a little bit. But at the same time, he has to face his fears. And that takes us into the second part of the novel, where Ged actually goes out on a mission and starts searching for this shadow creature. All right. In the midst of his travels, he runs across a dragon. He reaches out to some old friends, and meets some people on a looks like a deserted island. These two people are strangers, sister and brother, living together, and they literally have nothing. But she gives him a little trinket. It's like a broken ring almost. Well, this broken ring ends up being something very important, which sets up the next two stories after The Wizard of EarthSea. But anyway, Ged makes his travels and eventually encounters the Shadow Beast, and not going to give away the ending, but he does defeat the Shadow Beast. I'm not going to say how. You'll have to read the book and figure it out for yourself. Very good read. It's fast. It goes by fast. Like I said, it's a real thin book. You can read it probably in a couple days, and it's a classic novel. Really, it's one book that kind of helps project fantasy fiction further along its trajectory. Like I said, because it alludes to Harry Potter, and there's other novels that borrow from Ursula Le Guin, just like Ursula Le Guin borrowed a little bit from Tolkien. Anyway, have a great day.